So is that how you do it? Is that the clickbait? I don't know, hey. Hey, how's it going, peeps? So today is September 6, 2021. Welcome to Crypto Calypto, and this is your filling station for no-nonsense crypto truth. Alright, so today, where are we on the direction timeline? 2. What the hell is going on with FUD? 3. Are we on track with my Holy Grail chart? And finally, the topic on the clickbait is 90% crypto crash. Ah. Hey, okay, so I know everybody's at different levels coming in here, and who am I? Well, look, I've got, 10 subscribers? Doesn't matter if I have 10 or I have 100. I've got like 100 on Twitter. I'm just starting off. But look, I've already had 2 people tell me this has dramatically changed their trading style and also saved them from getting wrecked. That's 2 people I've helped already. It's worth my time. So, noobs, look, come into this slowly. You want to come in a little bit at a time, start to mature, learn how everything works. This is a crazy crypto world. Lots of FUD, lots of manipulation, lots of top YouTube channels giving you bad advice, more interested in clickbait to get more subscriptions than your well-being. So I don't care if that pisses off a bunch of people. I care about you guys, the ones coming in with money, and in most cases trading too much money. So I'm here to help. So where are we on this direction timeline? Well, despite what the top channels will tell you, we're going parabolic. We're just 3 days away, and this was a week ago, from, breaking out big. And we hit 50. That's like, this is it, man. We're to the moon. Hit 51. This is it. This is it. We're going up. Yeah, we are going up, and this is not a bad entry point. I'll put that out there now. Don't wait for this thing to come down a few percentage points. This is a good time, all right, especially for HODL. But don't get wrecked on TA, guys, and trading, all right? So where are we on the direction timeline? Well, we're being held down, just like I said we were going to be. And you look at my Twitter, and I'm like 90% to 100% accuracy week to week. There's a reason for that, and it has nothing to do with me personally, except the fact that I'm good at analyzing and research and seeing the big picture, connecting the dots here. So we're being held down 51, 52. The good news is we've got tons of momentum on-chain, stock to flow, stuff coming in on the exchange, funds coming in, big whales, entry, which is why it's being held down. It's all pointed up, and if you can't see that, well, bears, hey, go ahead and short, because I could use a better entry. That's what's going on now lately. This is what I want to address also. You've seen a tremendous amount of FUD. Why is that? Well, FUD, what's the first letter? F. Fear. This market is psychologically driven for especially new-timers. And anybody with money on this, let's face it, it's our livelihood, many of us, and we get emotional about finances. There's a higher consciousness aspect to this, why humanity's trading the way they are. I won't get into all that voodoo because most of you won't believe it anyway, so we'll save that for a different time. But it's whales. It's the super whales controlling this. It's the oligarch hegemony, and they want it held down right now for a better entry for their crony friends, and that's exactly what's playing out. And if you look at my chart from the last video, Holy Grail chart, you'll see exactly how that plays out. You might think these guys are got their faces peered to the screens like we do every day, and that's not how this works. They set a plan for the year, and they set it and forget it. They've got people, dozens of people working for them that pay attention to this stuff. And even them, they're probably on a beach somewhere, sipping a martini and all we are to them when we're popping the price a little bit is some mosquito that needs to be swatted down. They'll get a little chime on their cell phone that the price is going a little higher than they want it to be, and here's the mosquito and swat. That's all it takes. This is so ridiculously easy, with weak hands continually pouring into the market for them to manipulate. That'll change in time, but that's where we're at right now. So the fear, what is fear? Well, this fear is change. We're either maxi on a certain coin or crypto, or we just fear, generally speaking. Not me personally, I'm way beyond that. But most people have a certain element of anxiety when they come into this space. So really unresolved trauma is what it comes down to, if you want to get into the psychology of this. So here's what's a little surprising to me. I'm actually finding a lot of top Twitter names getting caught up in this FUD narrative, feeling like they need to respond, and that only feeds the energy. Redirect your energy towards compassion, towards the ignorant, and refocus that on something more positive for the unity of the space. That's my feeling on the subject. We're in the most important tech disruptive revolution in the past 200 years. All right, so I'd go so far to say, in parallel to that is humanity's evolution. When you fully understand blockchain's ultimate destiny here and the humanitarian utility of this. So it's change. Change on a collective consciousness level, that's always going to manifest fear. That's what it is ultimately. You could say all people are just being jerks. Well, if they're being a jerk, they have anxiety that they're projecting. Find compassion in that. Ignore it. Move on to positive energy things. Got better things to do, right? That's one aspect of FUD. The other one is outright manipulation. And speaking of manipulation, where are we with the Holy Grail chart? Well, let's dig into this. Okay, here we are, the Holy Grail chart. If you don't know what this is, then refer to the last video, the Holy Grail, and you'll see what this is all about. Lots of research into this, 11 layers deep, 18 months, contacts overseas, and so forth and so on. But it's a pretty critical chart that's been virtually 100% spot on. So look, I'm just some guy that's new to the channel, and what do I know? But pay attention to this. It's not financial advice, and you should do your own research. Okay, here we go. So the first line you see here is what the oligarch has planned. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, right. How can you know that? Again, refer to the first video. So here's what I think is more likely to happen. They don't always get their exact pricing. They just like to control the general direction. So here's what I think will happen. Like I said, we're going sideways here. The price will come up a little higher than they would like, and then we'll probably pop up to 80. I think that's going to happen relatively soon, especially since demand is much higher than anticipated. Then we'll have a correction. The super whales and oligarchs had hoped for a major correction. In fact, they want to crash the market in November. I don't think that's going to happen. And the reason I don't think that's going to happen will tie into the title of this video regarding the legacy stock market crash. I'll get to that after this topic. So I think what was going to be a crash will end up being a correction of anywhere between 12 and 30%, and then it's off to the moon. From there, I anticipate year ending somewhere between 110 and 130. That's my take. We'll see how close I come. So that's my line. That's where I think we'll be. That's just one guy's opinion. And here's where we are currently against those lines. And as you can see, they're pretty damn close. All right, so the topic is the 90% crypto crash. What's this all about? Here's something alarming to me, quite frankly, is the fact that not many people are addressing the effect that the legacy stock market has on crypto. We're still completely coupled, generally speaking, to the stock market, and more specifically NASDAQ, because it's tech-oriented. Given that most of you know, I assume, that the stock market is manipulated just like the crypto market is, I think it goes without saying that there's a planned crash. Even if it wasn't coerced, manipulated, and planned, anybody with any common sense in market cycles knows we are far overdue for a massive correction, if not a full-blown crash. Look at the fundamentals historically leading up to 2008 with derivatives, all of the crazy over-leveraging and the crazy tactics that the banks use. It's mind-blowing. So we're way overdue for that. It's expected. I think they expected it to happen in September, and a lot of them are going to get upside down with calls, options, and shorting, typical for funds because a lot of them get wrecked. What's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. It's the new wave of investors. It's the kids. It's the new people coming aboard. Stimulus money, or fully understanding that the legacy market is not producing returns they're looking for, or finally going down the rabbit hole and understanding how screwed up this whole system is and the dynamics of the whole crypto space and how blockchain is changing the world, and they want to be a part of that. Or it's the Robinhood traders who have had it with stock market manipulation and they want to stick it to the shorts. For all of those reasons, there's enough adoption and new entry with newbies that we're hedging against that in a positive direction. So they're not going to get this crash in September. And then the final crash they're looking for, like I alluded to just a few moments ago, I don't personally think that's going to happen either. I think what is a planned crash will likely be a correction or a dip, 10 to 30%, which will be a final entry point for this year. And then it's up and away. Listen, ultimately, this is a battle. It's a battle for humanity's future. So for that reason, just on principle, and I'm not knocking anybody that shorts or day trades or even quick swing trades, I long swing trade. But ultimately, hodling is the best thing we can do. Look, every time you sell something, you're selling it to the oligarch hegemony, because by and large, they manipulate the crypto space by pushing down price. They enter and they hold on to it for the future. For the most part, about 80% from my estimations. And then they use the other 20% to manipulate the market. But that 80%, why? Well, because with that type of wealth accumulation comes control and power. And they understand the crypto space, generally speaking. What they don't understand is human spirit and how collectively our consciousness is changing in the direction of illumination and exposure. And if we can only get past what I call the toilet paper apocalypse of this narcissist, selfish, get-rich trend, which is the reason that we're not popping up like we should be, it's out of greed, quite frankly. So the more we can trend away from that, I have a unified spirit towards humanity's future, the quicker we get there. Right now, we're not doing so well. Just look at the FUD and how people are reacting to it, the anger and all the disharmony on Twitter right now. And it's a sad statement on where we're at. And I'll be frank with you, we're losing. We're losing this battle right now, and we have only ourselves to blame. So let's get our shit together, unify a little bit here, a little more harmony. The crypto space should be unified. For those that are coming into this to get rich quick, I'm not impressed. let's not be reckless. Let's have a little more compassion and care towards the future. And that's all I got to say for now. We'll see you next time.